Hey everybody, it's Mark. I'm out here today, 95 degrees, hot weather, showing you guys this brand new 2014 Vantage VHP. Zoom out here, full boat. It's one bad mamma jamma right here. Anyway, this customer's out of Jacksonville, coming out of a bay boat. Wanted something a little bit easier to contend with, but still have the versatility that he had with his bay boat, so he chose a Vantage. Wanted the speed, so he went with the VHP model. As you can see, it's got a Mercury Pro XS 175 on there, so this thing's going to scoot. It is going to scoot real fast. So anyway, let me go over the boat. I guess we'll just start right here in the back. As you can see, we've got the dual power poles, the blades, one for each side, obviously. Looks real good. He's got a swim ladder mount right here on the left side, on the port side, as we say in the boating industry or world. Zoom in here real quick. You see that right there? That's where the swim ladder hooks on, so that if he's out at the island with his lady or his buddies or whatever and they want to take a dip, they can jump in the water and climb back into the boat without stepping on a trim tab or anything. And as you can see up there underneath the front hatch is the swim ladder. That's what attaches to that mount in the back. Okay, so anyway, back here you'll also see there is a bone, what I refer to as a bone, which is another mount for the trolling motor. Basically, when he wants to run long distances, he can remove his trolling motor from the front deck, put it back here to keep it from taking all the impact that the front of the boat takes when it's in rough water. You'll have to excuse the train going by, the new sunrail. It's right in our backyard and it makes a lot of noise. So anyway, just give me a second, this thing will be done and we'll be back to normal. In the meantime, enjoy the music. Okay, looks like it left, so back to it. Anyway, here we go. V-Marine push pull clips. These are the removable type barrels, or spools as you want to call them, but they're pretty borrowed arse right there. Anyway, and then up here you also have the V-Marine push pull caddy, which is also, or can be, removable. Close up of that, but that snaps your push pole in there, and you know, rather than tying off, staking off, or staking out, you can just snap it in there and do what you need to do. Okay, so next, pulling platform. Close this hatch real fast, give you a good look at this. But as you can see, pulling platform, it is a what we call a go fast style, dual steps, and it's got rod holders on both sides, right here. So when he's up there casting, he can put the rod in there and do what he needs to do, and then grab it when he needs it. It's not for trolling, but you can troll with it if you put a bigger rod in there, obviously. But to each his own, I guess. And this has been powder coating, or powder coated with a gloss powder coat, along with most of the other metal work on the boat, like the rod holders here on the console, and the grab bar on the console. And the over console grab bar there also has been powder coated, along with the steering wheel. So he just went all out on all the powder coating. It looks really, really good. But we'll get to the console here in just a minute. So we're still back here in the back of the boat. But let me open this hatch back up so you can see where most of your electronics, well, not electronics, but your electrical is, along with your oil reservoir and both of the pumps for the power pole. As you can see, they're tucked in there nice and neat. Clean and easy accessible. That's what's important, especially when you're out in the water. You run low on oil and you need to get some oil in there. You want to have that reservoir in a spot where you can get to it easy and pour oil into it without any issues, because we've all been there, and it stinks when you're trying to put oil in something when it's, you know, wavy and it gets everywhere, because that's a really hard thing to clean up, is oil. But anyway, you got your battery switch there, your fuse box, and you can see if you look closely that that's all labeled, you know, so that if something happens you can troubleshoot real fast. You can see what fuse belongs to what component. That's real important. Not everybody goes down there and memorizes where the fuses are, so it really helps to know what fuse is what. There's your brain box for the trim tabs. Moving over to the next well, that's a live well. All live wells are not the same. Each one is rigged differently, and size-wise, they can be different. But this one's pretty big, holds a lot of bait. It's also used as a release well. So you know, you throw a couple redfish in there, a couple keeper snook if you're allowed to do that. depending on what the state regulations are and what coast you're on, but you can keep them alive till you get home to eat them. So anyway, pretty cool. Let me walk around the other side and show you the other back hatch. And that's here. It's pretty empty right now, but I will bet this guy's going to fill it up with something. So, but there's a lot of room in there. You can throw a couple tackle bags. Like on my boat, I've got I think 3 or 4 fly boxes. I've got a little ditch bag in there for tools, this, that, and the other. I got all kinds of stuff in this hatch, so it works well for a lot of different things. Over here, you've got a cup holder along with the other side. Both gunnels got them. I guess that's one for each passenger or whatever. You can definitely put a couple drinks in there, and let's not forget the one on the console. So cup holders are always nice, not only for drinks, but for flies or soft plastic jerk baits. You know, you throw them in there when you change. It's quick and easy out of the way, and you don't step on a hook. So anyway, close this hatch. Close this hatch. Check 1, 2. We're still making sounds. It sounds good. So anyway, back to this front section here. We've got the console. You can see this is the triple door here, which I like to call the glove box feature. Open it up, but you can see inside of there, we've got all the components as far as controllers and stuff. But he's got a 12-volt plug in there. He's also got his fuel gauge in there. I can't tell if y'all can see in there because it's so dang bright out here, but I hope you can. I'll just set this down right here. Anyway, you've got fuel gauge right here, 12-volt plug right here, and of course plenty of room for controllers, cell phones, keys, just about anything you want to put in there. It's really, really cool little feature on this boat. Also have down here the storage for your batteries. This has got 3 batteries in here, 2 of which belong to the trolling motor. I don't know if you can see in there, I hope you can. But 2 of which belong to the trolling motor. That first one you see right here, that's got the breaker on there. The third battery is the cranking battery, and that belongs to the engine, obviously. And somewhere tucked up underneath there, you've got a charging system. That's what that plug is right there. And that is an onboard charging system, so that when you get to the hotel room, your house, what have you, you can plug right in and know that your batteries are getting charged for the next day or the next trip. So, real important. Nice amenity to have. Okay, coming up here on top, you can see there's an additional 12-volt plug here, along with a key start and the switch to work the Mercury with a cutoff. This is his configuration on the switches that he chose. This is all customized by the owner of the boat. You know, we give him that option to come in, be measured to the console as far as placement, fore and aft, and also height. You know, because everybody's built differently, you know, and everybody sits differently. So, you know, it's nice to know that, you know, you could come in here and have this thing installed exactly how you like it. Garmin GPS 740, you can see up there, pretty popular model. Most of you guys are familiar with the Garmin, so I don't need to go into too much detail on that. It's a pretty sweet unit. More grab bar on the side. There's the overhead grab bar we talked about earlier, which is a nice thing to have. You know, when you're walking from the back to the front of the boat and it's a little sloppy out, it gives you something to grab onto. There's the jump seat cooler box. Now this got about 2.5 inches of foam between the outside edge of the console here and the inside edge of the inside of the cooler. And what that means is that, you know, it's wrapped all the way around 360 degrees, and it just creates a lot of R value. And R value equates to insulation, and that equates to keeping things cold, like beer, soda, food, whatever. It's also a great spot to keep camera gear, because this is not a gutter system type hatch. This is a flange over type hatch, so no water will ever go and sit inside of anything. It just flanges right off of it. So it's a great dry storage hatch for electronic components. So just another cool little feature and option. We also have consoles that don't have jump seats. So if you wanted the same configuration but without the jump seat, and you wanted to put, let's say, a cooler in there, and let's not throw out names, but maybe a Yeti, you can drop the Yeti in front of that one and still get the same console and all the amenities, but with a cooler. So anyway, shout out to Tyler at Castaway Customs for the sea deck. As always, He does a great job, and it really complements the skiff very nicely. Up in the corner, you can see the rod holders, or the rod tubes. That's what sleeves the rods as they go forward. Next to that, you've got a set of speakers there. Okay, and I'm sure that is working an iPod system, which is an amp and 2 speakers with a little cable that comes out and plugs into your smartphone or smart component. Okay, front hatch, you can see, very spacious, a lot of room. Throw a lot of stuff up in there. That front hatch, we call hatch within a hatch. It's additional storage. A lot of guys like to throw their PFDs or things that they don't really need to get to that often in case of emergency, which is really difficult to get to. And wow, that was loud. I let that drop really hard, but oh well. Nice and clean. All grip finish inside of there, so you'll get no mildew on the interior. So that's real important because those hard to reach places, hard to wash places. If you just do a little bit extra in the beginning, you can eliminate some of that hard work later. There's the swim platform like we talked about before. It is mounted on the underside of the hatch, quick, easy, and accessible. Just a cool boat, man. This guy really did a lot of neat things on this boat. Casting platform, and of course, I'll get back to the casting platform, but here's your trolling motor, 24-volt Minn Kota, iPilot. You know, that's the way to go these days, is that iPilot. I like that system. Standard, oversized casting platform, and it has been powder coated, like I said before, with a gloss black. It's got sissy bars that go into these tubes. You can see them right here. You also can see them up there on the pulling platform, so he can either take them and put it in the back or up here in the front. He also installed, or had us install, an additional casting platform bolt so that if he wants to move this casting platform from the position it's in forward, he has that ability to do that. I don't know what else to go over with. This is just a beautiful boat. Sitting on a Ramblin' trailer. This is an upgraded Ramblin' trailer. It's an aluminum, and if you're talking about aluminum, this is the company that builds the best aluminum and galvanized, for that matter, trailer on the skiff market today, as far as I'm concerned. You know, like to say, you get what you pay for, and this is it's just a sweet, somewhat indestructible trailer. I mean, it is a very, very well built and attention to detail type of trailer. And each one of these trailers are built around the boat that's sitting on it. That is sitting on it, I guess you could say. So you know that trailer is fitting your boat like a glove. Very important. All right. Anyway, I could probably talk all day on this boat, but I'm not, because I got more stuff to do. So anyway, let me give you one more shot of the boat. Beautiful, as always. Thanks for checking this out. If you're sitting on the fence, like Kevin would say, you owe it to yourself to check us out. We've got a boat that fits all your needs, I think. So, EastCapeSkiffs.com. Check us out. All right. Peace.